honor, and glory, and power to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim, Hakodash. Hey, double honor to our elders, our great apostle, great millstone, GMS, who grew well and teach well, being great example to Israel. All right, my dear elect, I want to say peace and blessings to the hope of the elect in the four corner, pushing the truth and sincerity. All right, that great song, this you bring the bar. All right, just come back with another installment of radio station Edification. All right, and Lord willing, y'all brothers to be edified, while they law down, as we continue on. All right, as I always say, the children complain of an ungodly father. All right, and also the whistleblowers, as in their tongue, falling upon themselves. So Lord willing, y'all brothers to be edified. Let's turn it up, baby.
Abraham, $5 sends a Bible. $100 sends 20. $500 sends 100. You can give by calling 800-YES-WORD. 800-YES-WORD. Or visit sendbiblesnow.org. That's sendbiblesnow.org.
Let's see if something costs.
Oh yeah, only for education purposes only, for use.
Sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. And maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for health care can save many families up to $500 a month, and that's huge. But it's also true people are way more satisfied after making the switch too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. See what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 833-44-BIBLE. That's 833-44-BIBLE. 833-44-BIBLE. Welcome back to Jenna Ellis in the Morning on American Family Radio.
Welcome back. And I was discussing with my great producers, Devin and Adam, during the break, because there was this question of in Washington State, in this last topic that Josh Hammer and I were discussing, the difference between lawyers and attorneys, and this whole issue in Washington State and now Oregon that says that to pass, or they won't have a bar exam in order to become attorneys. There is a difference between lawyers and attorneys. So if you weren't aware, lawyer means that you are substantively knowledgeable and you have gone through a study of law. So for example, I have my Juris Doctor degree, so I am a lawyer, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have power of attorney or that you are licensed in every state or jurisdiction. You actually have to pass the bar exam in most states now, apparently, other than Washington and Oregon, to have the power of attorney to go into court and represent a client's interest. And so there is a difference between the two. A lot of people go through law school, they never end up passing the bar for whatever reason. They're lawyers, they're not attorneys. Or
see, there was gonna be a lot of nigga downfall. Nigga ain't got no fucking patience. You know what I'm saying? You should seen that nigga. That motherfucker thing that need to lift up, he go around the motherfucker. You know? There's gonna be a lot of people, all right, cause you remember, patience, all right, possess your soul. So a lot of niggas gonna be jumping the gun, somebody trying to take matters in their own hand and gonna end up, talking about getting put to death, because the nigga can't wait. And that's what the Lord is training us for. We have to wait patiently. Yes, we hasten in the coming of our Lord, but at the end of the day, we gotta wait. And America have taught us to have no patience. That's why you got restaurants. That's why you got microwaves and shit. That's an Edomite spirit. Because Esau couldn't wait. Ugly.
Like a governor of a state actually respond to. But this woman was talking about private home ownership being at extreme risk in America because new reports have shown that financial firms have been buying up single family homes to keep millennials and Gen Zers just renting for the rest of their life. So listen to this, cut 5.
I just watched what has to be one of the most horrifying videos I have ever seen on this app regarding our country's financial future. It was posted by a woman named Tiffany. I will link it. She's talking about how private equity firms have been buying up all the single family homes. So up until very recently, we didn't actually have the numbers to say just how many homes they've been buying up. And most politicians across the board, Democrat, Republican, whatever, have been saying, well, they're really only buying like 18% of single family homes. And then economists chimed in and said that if private equity firms are buying up anywhere from 18 to 20 to 23% of single family homes in this country, that by 2030, they would own 60% of all of the homes in America. Well, we just got the final numbers. In 2023, private equity firms purchased 44% of all of the single family homes in America, which means death for our middle class.
Oh.
Our generation will not be homeowners.
You see that? You see that? Debt for the middle class. So the Esau gonna have it one way. The high class and the lower class. All right? You middle class citizen, oh man. And this most of the Edomites, like your particular bosses, the managers or supervisors, them like the middle class Edomites. Yeah.
President's economist.
So
first, your reaction to this, I would call it a crisis in the housing market. And Greg Abbott's response here saying he supports free markets, but Texas needs to do something about this.
I think that definitely is a crisis, particularly when it comes to younger generations. And the larger consequences of that is that if you have young generations that can't buy a home, that put off having a family, then that's going to lead to a generations that have a lot less invested, are going to be a lot less conservative by nature. So it's a much bigger problem than just simply economics. I think within that TikTok video, the 44% number, I don't know if it's entirely correct, but it certainly does speak to a trend, which is that these large investors have been buying up houses. They have an advantage, particularly right now with mortgage rates as they are. They don't have to, so you have them competing with, say a 30-year-old couple having to finance their houses. The larger institutional investor is often going to win that. And I think that what you're seeing is I think it's kind of reflective of a larger kind of trend with Republicans right now, is recognizing that, first and foremost, the housing market is one of the most politicized markets in the country, right? There's a number of layers of current policies that have kind of been to prevent housing prices from going down. The Fed buys up more securities. There's various levels to that. And so you have this federal environment that is creating economic stress. And then the question then is, what can or should states do to try to protect its own citizens from some of the consequences of federal policies? And I think that dynamic, it manifests itself in a variety of ways. We saw it kind of play out in some of the COVID policies in Florida. We see that with concerns about social media censorship. But here it is in this very specific form on what steps can be done to help try to protect younger generations from being able to have access to that first home ownership, that first home you purchase, which has always kind of been a representation of the American dream, if you will. And so I think it's very interesting from both an economic perspective on why we've gotten to this point, but also from a political perspective on what roles can states do to help try to mitigate some of the problems that the federal government itself has created.
Yeah, and that really is the next question, so Bishop, is what can the states do? I mean, we've seen, of course, like here in Florida, that Ron DeSantis and the Florida legislature have said that that the Chinese Communist Party can't buy land in Florida, and that makes sense that you wouldn't want to give any of our real property to, and allow that to be purchased by a foreign government or even foreign agents, but particularly our foreign enemies, not even just our allies. But when it comes to corporations that do have rights here in America, what then can states actually do to try to curtail this?
Well, I think you're going to see more attempts to try to rein in these large-scale, institutional investor approaches to how that plays out, when these pieces of legislation are inevitably, face legal scrutiny. It's going to come down to design that law. In theory, I think
yeah, we into that bullshit. But what they speaking on is the economy and the housing. The housing. They just passed a law a couple of days ago about letting the immigrants that's coming over here across the border, all right, to carry guns. Then also they passed a law that you can actually harm homeless people that sit and lay on private properties. So that's gonna bring a lot of chaos. A lot of fights. A lot of uproars, because when you look at most of the major cities, when you go down to their downtown areas, it's full of homeless people. They was forced to be homeless, due to that they got bankrupt, man, a lot of things. You look at LA for an example. They always trying to paint that perfect picture of California as this glamorous city, but when you go down through there, it's a fucking hellhole, man. They got so many strips, just straight homeless people. We got that in Memphis. But guess what? As he continued to buy up the houses, he gonna put a fucking muzzle, all right, on the buying, all right, and the selling and the applying for these houses. That's why it's gonna be a fucking how can I put it, for you women's, because he gonna take away the Section 8 voucher. He gonna strip y'all from the food stamp. Because your duty is no longer in use. See, he didn't use you up. He didn't use you for his cause. Now he gonna spew you out of his mouth, and you women's gonna be looking stupid as hell. For turning your back on your man. Turning your back on your children, you're gonna be looking dumb as hell. Because the so-called white man finna strip y'all from everything. All right? But coming into this play of these houses, dealing with the economic, we know according to prophecy, all right, that this system gonna go down because he got a new system in play. And that new system is speaking about what? The charagma. What you gonna be able to buy and sell and trade with all things. That money, that dollar, all right, is no longer gonna have value. You see that? Gold and silver is gonna have a little something, but it ain't gonna have much as in that charagma. And this devil plan. Remember, order out of chaos. And that's what's coming to Babylon the Great. He gonna have to cause chaos and bring that order in. All right, he gonna have to make like the Apostle Hart made the video yesterday. They in debt and trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. You see? So there's no way they can pay their money back. So what they're gonna do? They're gonna crash the economy. They're gonna crash the system, and voila. Some shit they already got in play. And that's the charagma, which going to Revelation, the 13th chapter. All right? Revelation, the 13th chapter, man. 14, 15, 16. All right? It speaks about the plans of the wicked. All right? But they only going to get so far. They only going to get so far, but it's the time of Jacob trouble for you Negroes, Latino, and Americans. All right, it's a time for Jacob trouble, man. Which we preparing you, all right, as we continue to come out on the highways and the hedges, doing the sit downs. We warning you of these things to prepare your mind, prepare your soul, prepare your spirit. Because these things is going to come to pass whether you choose to listen or you choose to not listen. But the Lord said, what? Get them warning from me, whether they hear or forbear. Alright? Because guess what? It's going to happen. Though it tarry, wait for it, but it shall surely come. The so-called white man, he finna come down having great wrath, and this part of it. This part of his wrath, man, putting a hold on everything. Just meaning force you to go down to Egypt for help. But your dependentation is just a word. I like to use it, dependentation. Alright, supposed to be on your high by Shema shop for all things, especially in the time of trouble. You know, because you ain't gonna be able to call the police or the ambulance or the fire department or your uncle, your brother, you know, or for your men. You ain't gonna be able to call your mama, your auntie, you know, to handle certain situations. You see, it's gonna be you, your faith, and your high by Shema shop. You know? This so-called white man, he don't give a damn. All he cares about is his agenda. You know? And we supposed to be the opposite. We don't give a damn. All we care about your how about Shema Shah agenda. You know? Because that's what's going to save us. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our time. You know? What time there? I got to go up in there, hoe. Yeah, Lord willing, like I said, there was another installment of radio station Edification. Lord willing, y'all brothers to edify. Next time, Shalom, Baba Barbara,